Okay. ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं वामहे कविं कवीनाम् उमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामभित्र्यवतु महासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां हृदये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मिन् गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। देवीं वाचमजनयन्त देवाः तां विश्वरूपा पशवो वदन्ति सा नो मन्द्रेषु मूर्जन्दुहाना धेनुर्वागस्मानुपतिष्ठितैतु व्यासं वदिष्ठनत्तारं श्रुते पौत्रवकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतादन्तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मश्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रीललितामहात्रिपुरसुन्दरी समेत श्रीचन्द्रमौळीश्वराय नमः। श्रीकाञ्चीकामकोटिपीठाधिपति जगद्गुरु श्रीशङ्कराचार्य श्रीचरणयोः प्रणामाः। Wonderful. So, both of you have heard of Matru Pancakam Munnadi, or is it the first time? Cherry. What background do you know, Radha? Yes. So basically, you hit the bullseye. So Adi Shankaracharya, Usha, you might know that he was born at Kaladi in Kerala, right? In a Nambudri family. Correct. We went there before catching a flight back from Kochi to Mumbai for our get together. So his mother's name was Aryamba, and he lost his father very, very early. So at a very young age, Adi Shankaracharya wanted to take up sannyasa against the will of his mother. I hope you know, when the person takes sannyasa, he cuts off all relationships. Means once he becomes a sannyasi, he cannot say she is my mother, he is my father, or he is my brother, etc. And all those relationships are cut. And it is strictly advised that the mother never comes in front of the sannyasi. Yenaka, as a sannyasi, as a acharya, he is the guru, Jagat Guru. So anybody who meets him, sees him, has to surrender, totally fall at their feet. This applies even to the father. Purvashrama father-nu சொல்லுவா. அதாவது ஆசிரம பிரவேசம் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி, before getting into the ashramam, he was a father அப்படின்னு அந்த டைட்டில் வரும். Even the father has to do namaskaram to the sannyasi. But you don't want that for a mother to do, who has delivered that person before he became sannyasi. So that is a general sampradaya or practice that is followed. So here, because she was alone, she obviously had that resistance to Adi Shankaracharya deciding to take sannyasam. But she finally agreed with one condition, that he should be present near her deathbed. He should be physically present near her deathbed, and he should perform the last rites. That was the condition. So Adi Shankaracharya agreed for this and then took up sannyasa. So when the mother was sick, he was at Sringeri, and he realized that she's nearing death. And so he reached immediately, because he had the vision that the end is near. He kept his promise, and he reached his mother at Kaladi immediately. So he fulfilled that promise of being near her at the time of her death, and he also performed the Antyeshti rites. It is at that time he got so emotional, and he wrote 5 shlokas, which is aptly titled Matru for mother. Pancakam means 5 verses. Ashtakam naka 8 verses. So this is called as Matru Panchakam or Matruka Panchakam, either of the word. Matru Panchakam is more commonly known, and it's a very short poem. And this is the only poem he wrote. This is chanted in a poem form, though I'm going to teach it in a very prose form. And it is not extolling any god, or it is not devoted to philosophy. It is purely dedicated towards a mother that carries a baby for 9 months and delivers. And I don't have to preach to both of you uh, what a lady goes through during this process. So he decided to, spontaneously express his emotion, his love and anguish when he lost his mother. Though a sannyasi is not expected to have any family ties, I believe that emotion poured out for a human being's suffering. It's not like I lost my mother, but more like extolling the virtues of a mother. So it is very sober if you read it and if you understand it, but it helps in reminding everybody that probably takes women for granted or subjugates women to all kinds of abuse, physical, mental, etc. And it is aimed at the next generation respecting the parents, especially the mother, in terms of what sacrifice one makes before deciding to have a baby and deliver a baby. So that is the main purpose and the background with which Matru Panchakam is written. I've already shared the scripts with you. So let us go to shloka number 1. Astam tavadiyam prasuti samaye durvar shula vyatha nairuchyam tanushoषणं malamayi शय्या च सांवत्सरी एकस्यापि न गर्भभार भरण क्लेशस्य यस्य क्षमः दातुं निष्कृति मुन्नतोऽपि tanayah tasyai jananyai namah. This is the first shloka. आस्तां तावदीयं प्रसूतिसमये दुर्वारशूलव्यथा नैरुच्यं तनुशोषणं मलमयी शय्या च संवत्सरी एकस्यापि न गर्भभारभरणक्लेशस्य यस्य क्षमः धातुं निष्कृतिमुन्नतोऽपि तनयः तस्यै जनन्यै नमः. Obviously, some of the words we can easily pick up the meaning, right? Garbha, bhara, kleshasya, prasuti samaye, jananyai. These are all common words that you already would know the meaning. The true meaning of this shloka is, he says, let this salutation to be that mother. And he talks about the pain endured by her at the time of delivery. Prasuti samaye, durvara shula vyatha. That is the pain endured by her at the time of delivery, the emaciation of the body during pregnancy, and the year long sharing of the bed made dirty by the child. None of these miserable experiences borne by the mother during pregnancy can be adequately compensated even by a great son. It's extremely important to understand the last part. Even by a great son. Have you both heard of the term rin? Correct. Correct. Do you know how many popular types of rin are there that we should know or we know? Yes. So primarily it starts with Matru rin. Matru rin starts from the time you are conceived, because she is nurturing inside her womb. And imagine, anything that the mother eats is what the source of food and nutrition for the fetus inside the womb is. So there is so much of dependency, and she does not mind where the fetus extracts the first right of taking the nutrition to grow, which means that is not available to the mother. In the process, her body gets emaciated. So it starts from there. Then the pain during the delivery that she endures to ensure that the baby is safely born. And then the nurturing start with the breastfeeding. And again, it is not about feeding the baby with milk, which you can always give through formula. It is the amount of pain that the mother undergoes when the baby feeds, as well as the pain that she undergoes if the baby doesn't drink the breast milk. So it's like a catch 22 situation for the mother. Once the baby grows up, every day without complaint, you will get food. So she becomes the Annapurni. And then she performs various different roles of protecting the baby from any kind of danger otherwise. So she is also the protector. So if we start counting the list of things that a mother does to the child, it will be endless. But the concept of run is there in our system to keep reminding people that our system works on the karma principle. If you take obligation or help from somebody, then you're indebted. It doesn't have to be physical, financial, etc. It can be even mental. Somebody thought of you, of your good health and survival, well being. You are indebted to that person. And this is what we need to understand and be careful, because if you go back to Mundaka Upanishad, if our entire world is revolving around those five senses, I need to see, believe, touch, blah, blah, blah. And if it revolves around that, you will always remain that ignorant person all your life. If you take note of these things, because these entries are made in your balance sheet in the causal body, right? The karma system, the entries are automatically made. When you do annadanam, you know I've done something, so I've got earned some good karma. But where you earn and how you earn negative karmas, you half the time you may not even know. So the Runa system is so powerful that it keeps the karma system alive. The other next run is Pitrarun. Pitrarun is also because you originate from the father, and father may not undergo the same level of sacrifice as the mother, but he is a partner in the whole process. So there is a percentage of run which father contributes that you earn even in the process of birth. Then the father acts as the protector and as the person who earns for the family, and father is also the first guru, besides becoming a friend and counselor for the rest of your life. So Matraran, Pitraran, Devataran is already there because of the fact that you are being given the opportunity to be born as a human being and live your life. The other important run is Guru, Guru run. You are always going to be indebted for the lessons that you are learning, for the teachings that form a very important foundation of your life, with which you live your life. You live your life in dealing with situations, in conducting yourself under various circumstances, performing your duties and roles. With the knowledge that you gained at school, you get a degree with which you get a job, which becomes your means of living, earning. So the Guru Run is also an equally important Run. It is also reflected so nicely in Shikshavalli, which is one of the three in the Taittiriya Upanishad, where Vedam's teachings first chapter. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. That is the status given to the Acharya or the Guru. In Tamil, we are taught Annayam Pitavam Munnari Deivam. But Acharya comes ahead of God, ahead of parents, because you achieve, you reach God through the Acharya, through the Guru. So, what Adi Shankaracharya is saying in this first verse is, I might be a Jagat Guru, I might be the Shankaracharya and the beacon of light for the whole world. So, by that measure, she has delivered a great son. But even that great son cannot compensate the mother adequately what she goes through the pregnancy. So நான் சொல்ற மீனிங் புரியுறது இல்லையா? So the reason I am giving such a detailed explanation is we have a tendency as human beings, including me, as we grow up, that we start taking certain things for granted. We say, yeah, I know karma system. I know how it works. We all claim knowledge of karma system because we've heard that word. We have heard a few things about it here and there. And there will be some people who will also take off on prarabdha karma and the karma and categories of karma without knowing what it is. But I have seen in my entire life people misquoting, misrepresenting, or misunderstanding this whole karma system, where most of the times it is used as an excuse to justify your behavior or actions or inaction. Why you didn't do this? Oh, that is my karma, yaar. I'm stuck in the US. I can't go to India to take care of something. So people use this karma very loosely. Hence, it is extremely important to understand this whole run business and karma business and how deep it is, and it need to be looked into and understood for your own good, because it has nothing to do with the mother or father or guru. Their life goes on. So whether you recognize them or not, they have done their duty, their life goes on. But if you don't recognize and you don't realize that you have earned more debt and you need to compensate that by doing more good deeds, you are lost in your own life, in your pursuit of moksha. So the gravity of the whole situation needs to be understood by us, and then that knowledge has to be implemented to our future generations. That is one of the reason why I'm highlighting it so strongly, because I've heard children saying that, don't tell me that you're doing all this hard work. It's your duty, because you decided to bring us to this life, to this world. We didn't ask for it. And that language is very, very offensive and insulting when somebody speaks like that. Forget about having gratitude, you're taking the offensive and justifying your bad behavior. That's the worst. So, shall we move to the second one? Gurukulamupasrutya swapnakale tu drishtva yati samuchita vesham prarudo mam tvamuchaihi. Gurukulamath sarvam prarudatte samaksham sapadi charanayoste matarastu pranamaha. Again, Gurukulamupasrutya swapnakale tu drishtva yati samuchita vesham prarudo mam tvamuchaihi. Gurukulamath sarvam prarudatte samaksham sapadi charanayoste matarastu pranamaha. Again, he says, salutations to the feet of the mother. So when you say salutations and namaskarams and offerings, etc., you touch the feet. Imagine that with other sampradaya, where you hug, embrace at the same level. There is a huge difference and significance of why you make somebody fall at somebody's feet. It is actually managing your ego, self-ego, ahankara. And to say that the person that is in front of you, whose feet you're touching, you need the blessings, you need the good wishes, and you accept that that person is superior to you. So when we talk of superior, inferior, it is not a discriminatory policy as the Western world, the liberals would probably discuss. This is recognition that you are senior to me, superior to me, so I surrender myself, subject myself to you in front of you. So you touch the feet of the person. So here he says, salutations to the feet of the mother. Once she had seen me in her dreams as clad in the dress of an ascetic. Yatina, ascetic, sannyasi. Yati. Incidentally, it may be very interesting for you to know that my Sri Vidya Guru Parampara, or the ashram, Bhaskara Prakasha Ashramam, my Paramaguru founded the ashram in Chennai. But my Parameshti Guru and his Guru were responsible for writing Yati Dharma. Humans, namala mortal humans, there is Dharma Shastra. code of conduct of how to live our life, the rights and wrongs and duties and responsibilities. There was nothing written for sannyasis. I hope you know they don't have to do Sandhya Vandanam, they don't have to do Shraddham, they don't have to do all the stuff that we do. So if I've got Poonal and I take sannyasam, the first thing they take off is the Poonal. So their life's duties and responsibilities are different, code of conduct is different. அந்த யதி தர்மம் எழுதினது வந்து எங்கள் ஆசிரமத்தில் எங்களோட பரமேஷ்டி குரு அண்ட் ஹிஸ் குரு, பராபர குரு. So he says, once she had seen me in her dreams as clad in the dress of an ascetic. She came to the Gurukula and wept aloud. அவரோட ஆதிசங்கராச்சாரியோட அம்மா வந்து he came to the Gurukula and she wept aloud. It was not a very silent crying in a corner. The entire Gurukula also wept with her. So, again, don't focus on the weeping or crying aspect of it. What he's trying to do is to signify the pain that the mother endures and the sacrifices that she continues to make for the sake of dharma, for the sake of the society, for the sake of humanity. The selfless nature of the mother and the pain that she undergoes to do that. So it's not like, yeah, she's selfless. Okay, I get it. I understand. அப்படி இல்லை. Every day she wakes up, before she goes to bed, she goes through enormous amount of pain that makes her weep or cry out so loud. And that pain is so deep that even the whole Gurukula wept with her. So they could understand and relate. They didn't just ignore, oh, இதோ யாரோ வந்து அழுதுட்டு போற பைத்தியக்காரி அப்படின்னு. People were not talking philosophy to the mother. Don't you know that he is a sannyasi now, no relationship with you? Why are you doing this? The Gurukula also wept with her. So he is trying to stress the point in the significance of the sacrifices made by the mother in the pain she undergoes. So when you talk of mother, the mother's name is Aryamba. Aryamba. That's the correct pronunciation. Aryamba. So this is the incident that she narrates when she ran to the institution of the Matham where Adi Shankara was studying, and she embraced him and she wept aloud. Go back to the introductory statement I said, where once you take sannyasi, it is recommended and advised that the mother never comes in front of the son, Purvashrama son. Now, why she was allowed? Because people recognized the situation that she was in and the conditions under which she agreed to let go of her son to become a sannyasi, and she selflessly gave her son to the rest of the world. So everybody appreciated, recognized it, and wept with her. So Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada thus pays obeisance to the feet of that mother. So Charanaravindayoho, சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? Even when you talk of Guru, you say the same thing. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. அதுலேயே நம்ம சொல்கிறது என்ன சொல்கிறோம்? அஸ்மின் குரு சரணாரவிந்தாபியாம் நமஹ. ஸ்வஸ்தி நீங்கள் அடுங்கோ. ஸ்ரீலதா மகா திரிபுர சுந்தரி சமேத ஸ்ரீ சந்திரமௌலீஸ்வராய நமஹ. ஸ்ரீ காஞ்சி காமகோட்டி பீட்டாதிபதி ஜகத்குரு ஸ்ரீ சங்கராச்சாரிய ஸ்ரீ சரணையோஹோ பிரணாமாக. அந்த சரணம் ஃபீட்டுக்கு வந்து வித் ரெஸ்பெக்ட், யூ டோன்ட் சே யா அவரோட காலை தொட்டேன் அப்படின்னு. ஸ்ரீ சரணையோஹோ பிரணாமாக. So the whole notion of us surrendering ourselves in front of the feet of the person that we revere and respect and pay our salutations or gratitude is very, very important in our sampradaya. Third verse. Na dattam mataste marana samaye toyamapi va swadha vano deya मरणदिवसे श्राद्धविधिना न जप्तो मातस्ते मरणसमये तारकमनुः अकाले सम्प्राप्ते मयि कुरु दयां मातरतुलाम् न दत्तं मातस्ते मरणसमये तोयमपि वा स्वधावानो देया मरणदिवसे श्राद्धविधिना न जप्तो मातस्ते मरणसमये तारकमनुः अकाले सम्प्राप्ते मयि कुरु दयां मातरतुलाम्. Again he says, "Oh mother, please be compassionate to me who has come late." He feels the pain that I was not there with you all the time, and I'm just coming at the time when you're nearing the end. So please be compassionate to me. Appavum, he expects that compassion from the mother. And that expectation is there because of the confidence of you will never expect a curse or an abuse or a complaint from the mother, even in that situation. Normally, if you are a normal human being, you will always have the tendency to complain. Oh, ippada varaya, you're coming so late when I'm dying. Where were you when I was there? Where were you? We have the tendency to have those accountability kind of questions to people. But the mother will never do that of her children. So he says, please be compassionate to me who has come late. Oh, mother, I have not offered water to you at the time of your death. I cannot offer you food on the anniversary of your death by performing Shraddham. So his condition was clear. He is fulfilling his condition to his mother, upon which she agreed to release him to become a sannyasi. But he is also following the Yati Dharma. Yati Dharma வந்து ஸ்ராத்தம் கிடையாதுன்னு சொன்னேன் உங்களுக்கு இப்பதான் கொஞ்ச நேரம் முன்னாடி. So while he performed the Antyeshti rites, the cremation, etc., subsequent activities he is not allowed to perform as per the Yati Dharma. So it is typical of us to offer water and vaikarasi poduva. He didn't do that because he was not allowed to do it. He says he's grieving that I cannot offer you food on the anniversary of your death by performing Shraddha. So 45th day, 6th month, 1 year, Abdiga Shraddham, or Shraddham year after year. Shraddham, for the benefit of those who don't know, is basically you're offering the food to your Pitrus. So distinctive difference between our system and other systems where people make the blunder of comparing Hindu religion with other religion. No, ours is not a religion. A religion is something where a rule or a code book is written by somebody and the rest of the world follows that. We don't have a rule book codified by a human being. And we don't obey the laws written by a human being, except the constitution that we are bound to do it because we have no choice. But the original nature's constitution is what we live our life on. So he is grieving that even I cannot perform your shraddha, offer your food. So in our system, the soul is alive and moving. So when you say you are dead, it only leaves your body in this loka. இது ரொம்ப important difference புரிஞ்சுக்கணும், which is where I always tell people who are willing to learn, don't say rest in peace, rest in peace. This is that half-baked knowledge and applying that knowledge to every situation that is there without knowing what you're doing is right or wrong. So if somebody is dead, if you say, oh, please rest in peace, are you thinking good of that person or are you cursing that person? As per our system, you're cursing that person. Because you're saying your soul should not move to the various lokas, you rest there. That's not what you want. The word rest in peace, RIP, is borrowed from another system which believes that a person, when the person is dead, you bury the person, not cremate the person, underground. Why? Because they say that all of you who are dead, please rest in peace in burial. On a given day, Jesus will show up and relieve you. That is the background behind the term RIP. So here is grieving, saying that I am not able to perform the Shraddha on the anniversary of your death. Oh mother, I have not uttered the redeeming mantra at the time of your death. Do you know what the reference is to? Sorry? Correct. அது ஒண்ணு. That is one of the things. There is another thing that you need to know. When we talk of the soul leaving the body and moving, the departure send-off process doesn't start unless the person performing the karyas chants the Karana Mantram. We will talk about the 9 orifices, significance of 9 orifices in our body, why it is important during our life and during death, etc. But the Kade, which is one of the orifices that we talk about, Karanamna ear, we chant a mantra in the ear of the dead body. It's a very, very important step at the time of performing the final rites. So he says, I have not uttered the redeeming mantra at the time of your death. So he gives the explanation very clearly that I promised to you to come and perform your rites wherever he may be at the time of the death. He fulfilled that promise. But as he has become a sannyasi, he is not eligible to perform that annual Shraddham rites. So he grieves at the thought of that his inability to do that for his mother. And the significance there is not the focus to be on, oh, so you don't have time to do this right, you don't have money to do this right, blah, 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 the resources to do. It is not about the resources. The focus is on the run. He's highlighting the gravity of the indebtedness and the helplessness with which she's unable to clear out that run, Matru run. That is the focus there. So next verse, shloka is Mukta Manistvam Nayanam Mameti Rajeti Jiveti Chiram Sutatvam Ityuktavatyastava Vachi Mataha Dadamyaham Tandulamesha Shushkam Muktamanistvam Nayanam Mameti Rajeti Jiveti Chiram Sutatvayam Ityuktavatyastava Vachi Matas Dadamyaham Tandulamesha Shushkam. He says, you are my jewel. Mukta Mani. You are my jewel. You are my eyes. EYES. Mameti Nayanam. You are my eyes. You are my dear person. Guess who is saying this to whom? Correct. Correct. This is not Adi Shankara telling his mother. He says, oh son, you live long. You have said these words, O mother. I am putting these dry grains into your mouth. So the Vakarsi Podrate, during the final rites, he remembers those words that the mother always used to tell the son. You are my jewel, Muktamani. You are my eyes, Nayanam. You are my dear person. அதாவது ராஜேதி ஜீவேதி, and you live long. To one who has spoken the fondling words, Shankara laments that he is putting dry grains in the mouth of that very same person. எந்த வாயிலேருந்து அந்த வார்த்தைகள் வந்துட்டு இருந்ததோ அந்த வாய்க்கே வாய்க்கரசி போடுறேன். And I don't have to explain the vaikkarasi thing. Both of you are well aware of the process and the significance. So எப்படி அதை கனெக்ட் பண்றாரு பாருங்க. And this has come out naturally. This was not like some preconceived poem planned and written well in advance, etc. It's a very spontaneous outpouring of his emotions despite being a sannyasi. அப்படின்னா அவருக்கு அந்த கிரீஃப் எவ்வளோ டீப்பாக அடிச்சிருக்கும் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி ஜெகத்குருக்கே அவ்வளோ பெயின் அண்ட் ஃபீலிங் இருந்ததுன்னா, it is a reminder to all of us, regardless of whether you're a woman or a man, because you have a mother who has given birth to you in the same process. So every human being must take this very seriously and sort of experience that pain, not take it for granted or ignore it. இதில் ஒரு செல்ஃபிஷ் மோட்டிவ் என்னன்னாக்கா, the very fact that you are recognizing the run, you square off some of your negative karma. Just the mere thought. Action is later. So he's trying to drive home the significance that no matter how busy you are, no matter how big you are, you may be Ambani, Mukesh Ambani, you may be Bill Gates, you may be Jeff Bezos, doesn't matter. In front of this whole process in this human being, your role, your position, your duties, responsibilities, and relationships cannot be changed. The fifth and the final verse says, Ambeti tateti shiveti tasmin prasuti kale yadavocha uchchaihi krishneti govinda hare mukundetyaho jananyai rachitoya manjalihi. Ambeti tateti shiveti tasmin prasuti kale yadavocha uchchaihi krishneti govinda hare mukundetyaho jananyai rachitoya manjalihi. He finally concludes by saying this obeisance is offered to the mother who at the time of the labor pains cried aloud. Who was she seeking help from? She's seeking help from, "O mother, O father, Ambeti, O father, Tateti, Lord Shiva, Shiveti, Prasuti Kale Yadavocha Uchchaihi," means she is screaming for help during when she was undergoing through the labor pains. To Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Govinda, Hari, and Mukunda. None of these I need to give explanations who Lord Krishna is and Govinda or Hari is and who Mukunda is, right? Mukundana தெரியும் இல்லையா? Yeah. So, beautiful 5 verses that were conceived. இதில் actually I didn't go into the depth because of the time constraints. He actually also has a reference to the pain that the mother undergoes when the baby or the fetus is in the womb. You know, the baby திரும்பின்னு இருக்கும், உதைக்கும். It'll start kicking. And from the time it starts kicking, it doesn't end till it comes out. So every twist and turn and every kick will give that enormous pain in the abdominal area. The mother doesn't have a choice. You can do nothing. Quietly suffer through the pain. And during the pregnancy time, there is so much of restriction on how the mother can sleep. Her comfort, her requirements, her preference becomes secondary. Everything you live that 9 months of what is safe for the child, in what position if I sleep that the child can be safe. Your entire world revolves around that fetus in your womb. So it is not that the pain starts after the delivery or during delivery, etc. The pain starts from the time you're conceived, and it is a 24/7 suffering that the mother endures. So it is a very, very well written and deeply impactful poem that I've ever read. When I learned this and understood the meaning, I fell in love with this. So I've taught this before to a bunch of people. I thought since we are learning so many things, this is one tribute that we all can give our mother by learning it and practicing it. Was it interesting? Right. And as a counselor, I have seen several people abandoning their mother, abusing their mother, hitting them, depriving them of food, depriving them of basic necessities of life, comforts of life. After growing up, married, and living a very comfortable life. So when you see those movies in Bollywood, they're not, I think, they're not exaggerating anything. There are real life stories of people living that life because they were not blessed enough to uh, learn Matru Pancakam or even understand and appreciate what is a mother. So I'm doing my duty to see as much as we can spread this. And this is live on YouTube. Obviously, somebody will Google and find out, oh, there's something like this, and they will try to watch. At least it'll. I hope it opens up people's eyes, and people can take time off to say, hey, I think I must do something now. If it's never too late, and accepting your mistakes in front of the mother and correcting it should not be a matter of debate. எனக்கு வெக்கமா இருக்கு. How do I do it? What will she think? What will the world think? Hell with everything. You just do it. அந்த டூங்கிறதுனால தான் அந்த கர்மா சிஸ்டமே நமக்கு இருக்கு. So, Usha, what's your yeah, correct. ரிப்பென்டன்ஸும் வந்து ஜெனுவினா இருக்கணும். See, repentance also should be genuine. If I start ஆமா, correct. When she's alive. Yeah. And on this point, I would also like to add one thing. And I'm openly saying this, even though it is public on YouTube, because I don't mean to badmouth people or keep whining and bitching. Many people come and say, oh, yeah, yeah, on that day, I have written a check to this Raghavendra Math or this ashram to feed 100 people. Right? I don't have the time to take time off and do Shraddham. I don't believe in all this. In the whole package, I don't want to be going into depth of what all language people use, excuses people use. And my question to all of them has always been one thing. How much time have you devoted to read and understand the system, how it works? It's a whole package, it's a whole system. You can't just pick and choose. I don't believe in offering karpuram. I don't believe in offering nevedyam. Has the god ever eaten that nevedyam? It's all selective picking and commenting and criticizing without having the commitment to understand the whole system. The whole system of karma and dharma. You need to spend time to understand why certain things are recommended. Why you do yajna, homam. Why fire is chosen as a medium, not some other medium. Why ghee is offered. Why till is used. Why rice and the pindamnu சொல்றது the rice ஓட ball. Why that is done? What are those mantras that are chanted at that time? What are you saying? And even during the 10-day ritual, you see most things are tarpanam, offering of water. Then you think of the concept of dasadanam. We use the excuse of saying if you give the dasadanam, they will go out and sell and it will come back to the marketplace. All they need is cash. So why not give them cash? I have only one question, which is very profound if you want to understand that. For both the arguments of saying I am offering food to needy people, so why should I do Shraddham? That Vadhyar is demanding excess money. Imagine that Vadhyar to be a proprietor. On his income, his family is going to run. So when you expect promotions and increments in a timely fashion, and you will not accept that argument from your boss at work to say, you're getting salary, no. So why are you crying? Why are you demanding more? Why the Vadyar community or the Brahmin community doesn't deserve the same argument? That is number one. Number two, when you give that rice and parupu, vazhakya, etc., tenga, you're basically taking care of immediate grocery needs that the Brahmin has to take home, which will be used by his wife to feed his family. The concept is one. Now coming to the pindadanam or doing homam during Shraddham or offering that water during those 10 days. It is because it is scientifically known that what you offer reaches the soul. That soul is not nobody else than your mother and father and your pitrus. And such a beautiful system where they are not saying you offer this dhanam to the whole lineage. If you are the 105th person in the chain, you offer it to 104 people or 104 pairs of people, mother and father. It is restricted to 3 generations. So when you lose your mother or father, in those 10 days when you perform the rites, சபிண்டி கரணம்னு சொல்லி பண்ணுவா. You put different pindams, you merge the pindams and you slice it again into 3 to say the fourth one, அதாவது கொள்ளு தாத்தா or கொள்ளு பாட்டி, is pushed out of the equation. You do for your parents, grandparents, and their parents. That's it. 3 generations. Obviously, these are all systems well researched and well proven in terms of why it needs to be done, how it needs to be done. And that offer of food and offer of dasadanamla, walking sticks, jamakalam, the bed sheet, etc., footwear, umbrella, and a kamandalam for storing water, that is the water bottle of those days, is because the soul will be extremely thirsty. Water and coconut water are two most important things to quench the thirst Footwear is to see that your feet doesn't hurt. Jamakalam is for sleeping on, taking a break, time in the journey that the soul undergoes. So they are all very purposeful. So now put yourself in real life situation. I am hungry, but my children in whose house am staying or I'm dependent on says, Appa, here is the cash, take it, buy whatever you want. No, baby, I am hungry. I can't go out. I am not able to drive. I need food. I don't need cash. I want to now walk and go in this weather. It's so hot outside. I need an umbrella and footwear. Oh, here is a cash or a credit card. Please take it and use it. So, point I'm trying to make is that giving cash, or when you are hungry, your children saying, I fed the neighbors or the fed the beggar on the road is not a substitute. That is a great deed that you have to feed the needy, homeless. It's a separate duty, but it cannot be traded off with your primary responsibility of feeding your pitrus. I hope that distinction is coming out very clearly. Very simple, common sense question. And if you find those answers, you can be true to yourself. Because that mother never told you when you were growing up, right? Oh, I'm too busy. I'm sick today. I can't prepare food for you. Starve, stay hungry. Tell me one mother that has done it. So when she has performed her duty, when the father has performed his duty, when it is your turn, stop giving excuses. It is nothing to do with Amma Kunji, Appa Kunji, or like, he is ignoring his wife who has come from a different home to here. All those arguments are very, very silly arguments because nowhere it is told that one is at the cost of the other. It is the job of every individual. The boy balancing the girl that has come to his house with the parents, or the girl balancing her husband's respect and in law's respect with her own parents. You need to balance both. You need to learn the art of doing justice to both. It cannot be either or traded off. For that clarity, it is important that you understand and read about our system, because Dharma Shastra, the hierarchy of these kind of duties and responsibilities are there. When there are conflicting situations, what is the rule? Everything is written. Even for Shraddham, there are pages and pages of rules. Theatre, everything is written, coded, Dharma Shastra. When to light a wick, how to light a wick, should you use sesame seed oil or ghee, everything is written out there. It's just a question of you taking time and reading them, understanding them from a authentic guru, not from an internet source. If you commit that element of time and educate yourself, living that life and fulfilling your responsibilities is not a difficult task. So, Usha, I don't know whether you said something and I didn't hear it, but I probably thought that you spoke something. Okay. So, shall we wrap up? Excellent. Yes. Yes, yes. And see, if you get more information that is relevant, don't hesitate in posting it in the group for the benefit of others. The group is meant for sharing of more information and knowledge. Those who have the time and inclination to read it, they can. Those who don't want, they can always skip it. Again, I'm mentioning Padmaja that though she at times misses the classes, she makes sure that she watches the video. Amma, good quality. So that is the whole idea of putting it on YouTube. So if you feel it was good, you can watch again and probably take notes in case you have missed any important point. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to ask in the group. I'll respond. All right. Take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.